lost over 45 pounds without cutting down calories nor carbs, without crazy exercising. Eating all the time over 3,000 calories each and every day. Mostly coming from bananas, white potatoes, and rice. In today's video, I want to share the story of me becoming vegan. In 2011, this happened, and back then I was still into calorie deficit, and that's why for the first years of my veganism, I was a lot an ex-vegan. But because I had clear that I want to be vegan, I always went back to eating plants. But being in the restriction mindset, of course, I was craving what? Yes, more dense source of calories in the form of, yes, animal products. And this is the story of those years and how I became vegan and ex-vegan and vegan and ex-vegan from 2011 to 2014. Hello, I am Janina Vlad, the founder of leanoncarbs.com. My mission over here with this channel that has already a lot of valuable content that is free, and with my business where I sell coaching programs to help people to adopt sustainably this vegan, whole food, high carb, low fat, plant-based diet to get healthy, to increase their longevity, and to lean down without cutting down calories. Eating all the time in abundance to reach satiety from the right foods, because not all the foods are created equally, and yes, we can thrive only on some foods that are available. This is not restrictive mindset. Yes, this is knowing what's the best nutrition for this human body of ours. So if that's what you want, to lean down without hunger, without cravings, to stay at a low BMI for the rest of your life, and yes, to have a more vibrant and healthy life, subscribe and binge and watch all my videos. Share it with your friends as well, because you might have people around you that are still overweight and still sick and still lost in this confusion of diets and still cutting down calories, unfortunately. Now to that story. In 2011, I was into dieting again. I wasn't left dieting in that time, but I was in yet another diet. I was skipping some meals and eating small portions, and started, yes, jogging each and every day around half an hour, sometimes an hour a day. And yes, to make myself be accountable, I went to a quarter of marathon. So to make sure that I stay on track with my workouts. That was a nice experience, in other video about that. But in the same time, when I started again dieting, because I had, after visiting Portugal, me and my boyfriend, back then now husband, went to MotoGP and Estoril, and we came after that, now it's a different story. We came back from a different holiday, yes, from Tuscany. I came back from Tuscany. That with Portugal, yes, was yet another diet after Portugal. But after Tuscany, I came back with a few kilos extras, like, Italy, more pasta, more olive oil, more cheese, of course. More carbonara and lasagna and focaccia. Focaccia, oh my God, focaccia. And mozzarella. So I wanted to drop those pounds. Well, not much, but I had prior going to Tuscany a few pounds that I wanted to shed off. So in total, I had, let's say, 15 pounds to drop. And I was around 700 calories, 1800 calories, and every day running and some ab exercises. And in that time, my husband brought me from one of his trips on free market a brochure. Was not even a book or recipe book, but was that thin that was like a brochure, like less than 80 pages with Ayurvedic recipes. recipes to lose weight. And he saw that book in the flea market, like I said, and bought it for me. He said, okay, it might be helpful for Janina because now she wants to lose these 15 pounds. That brochure turned out to change the course of my life completely because it was a vegetarian brochure. Wasn't vegan, but at the beginning was the introduction and the reasons you might want to consider going vegetarian. Speaking about animal agriculture, about animals having consciousness and having nervous system. They can feel the pain, they can feel the terror, they can have purpose in life, and they can feel like seeking, of course, for pleasure and avoiding, of course, pain, and they want to live. And in the moment when I read that, to my mind, everything became clear. Oh my God, my husband regretted for the first years of that time of buying that brochure to me, because we had the biggest fight on our diet because we started, of course, eating differently. And this was like a rupture in our relationship, not having that moment together. We had it, of course, we still have our meals together, but he felt like, I don't know, betrayal that we don't enjoy the same food. And the same moment, we could eat in the same moment, but not the same foods. And I didn't learn more, so I didn't educate myself more to find out that for dairy, for cheese, for milk, for eggs is even more abuse and even worse the situation. Because all those animals, of course, they end up as well in the slaughterhouse. It's not like they are enjoying their lives until the day when we'll die and they will have long lives like animals in nature. No, the dairy cows are not having a nice life. They are the most abused animals on earth. So I went plant-based because the majority of my calories come from plants. Yes, potatoes, rice, vegetables, some fruits, a lot of pasta in that time. But I was dieting, so I was having small portions and moving more. And I couldn't sustain that level, only less than 2 months or something. Because I started craving, and I was craving a lot of tortilla and pies and donuts and chocolate and cheese pies. And then something happened. It's actually in the same time when I start craving. I became pregnant. I didn't know at the beginning that I was pregnant. I was craving also because I was growing something inside of me, and the hormones and all the changes that happen in the body when a female is pregnant. But when I found out, of course, the next step was to educate myself more over nutrition, because I didn't have education. I didn't learn anything more than that brochure. That brochure was with the recipes. So the only informations I had about nutrition were those 2-3 pages in the introduction of that recipe brochure. So when I became pregnant, when I found out that I was pregnant, I imagined that I have to do my best to provide the best nutrition for my body and for the kid that was growing in me. So it's then when I start reading about nutrition, and when I found out about, yes, animal protein not being suitable for our species, about cholesterol, hexogenous cholesterol not being suitable for our species. We have endogenous cholesterol, so we have our own production. When I found out about the high level of saturated fats in these cheese, eggs, not only in the meat, being in a higher percentage than our human body needs. So saturated fats, yes, we need but a few grams. Saturated fats are in plants in a smaller percentage, so it's enough for us. When I found out that all those hormones that are coming in those animal products, the natural occurring hormones in those animals, are not doing any good in our body, so they don't benefit us. It was easy for me to say, yes, I become Yes, 100% plant-based. I was saying vegan. Fast forward, after giving birth, I had, of course, some more pounds. Not only because I gained those pounds in the pregnancy, but remember, I was coming after a diet. So I became pregnant right after dieting. Sorry, I had a low calorie intake, and after that, eating more, binging and craving, binging and craving and binging. And of course, I gained almost 20 kilos. But of course, 20 kilos with the baby inside. After giving birth, I had an extra of around 10, 12 kilos. So 25 pounds or something. And you guess it, I wanted to lose those pounds by cutting down calories. But because I was breastfeeding and I knew more about nutrition and that you have to have enough nutrition to produce the milk and to feed the baby, I didn't went crazy. I was around 2,000 calories. I found out raw veganism. I was focused on, yes, vegetables. And yes, nuts and seeds. And yes, cold pressed oil, believing that this is the holy grail of health foods because it's extra virgin, it's cold pressed, it's bio, it's olive oil. So I was having my large vegetable salad with a lot of avocado, a lot of nuts and seeds, and pouring oil like this. So I was undercarved. I didn't have enough calories coming from carbohydrates. I was having a high-fat diet with not enough calories. It's the worst place you want to be. You don't want to be, actually. High-fat and under-eating. And of course, cravings came again. You cannot beat hunger. Hunger is a survival mechanism. Cravings, the same, are part of the same mechanism to make sure we find the food in our environment. Yes, that's why we become so obsessed with food when we cut down calories. Because our brain is the one who commands now. Our primitive brain is in charge. And that's why I said, look more calories, give me more calories, look for more dense sources of calories. So when you crave, you don't crave apples, bananas, and brown rice with lettuce. No, you won't crave tomatoes. You will crave chocolate, you will crave donuts, greasy, fatty foods. You will crave cheese, you will crave meat and bacon and hamburgers. I was craving fish mac. I wasn't into McDonald's in my life. I never, just in a few moments of my life, I indulge in those type of foods. But in that time, being vegan and raw vegan, I was craving McFish. I was craving, and I wasn't in a big deficit. Yes, I was moving, not all days, but yes, I was breastfeeding. And I was around 2,000 calories a day, so not enough. And that's why I craved a lot of pies and cheesecakes and carbonara. And like I said, oh my God, lasagna. I was craving lasagna like crazy. I was craving all those foods. And that's why it became impossible, especially because I wasn't very, not educated, but how can I put it? I had the ethics. I didn't want to put hormone animals, but after a few months of craving and yes, eating all this vegan junk, like chocolate is junk. Let's call it like that. It's a lot of saturated fats. It's not our nutrition. It's not our nutrition, chocolate. Doesn't matter if it's vegan or not. So I was eating other pies that were vegan. I was eating more nuts, a lot of nuts and almonds and pistachios and cashew. But I was craving more, even more. I was craving animal products. And of course, doctors and my husband said, yeah, you need animal protein. You need animal protein, that's why. You need animal for energy. I already filmed a video why protein don't give us energy, are not in our body to provide energy. And when we crave animal products, we don't crave animal products for having protein. We crave them because they have more calories per pound, because they have more fats, and they sustain life for longer, being more dense in calories. That's why we crave when we cut calories and when we go vegan, especially for having a lot of vegetables. It's even more dangerous to be on a restrictive calorie diet when you are vegan, because these vegetables have a lot of water and fiber, so even fewer calories than when you go for small portions on this omnivore standard diet. So, like I said, I was craving a lot of animal products, and I indulge in some animal products. And after 2-3 weeks of indulging from time to time in animal products and indulging in a lot of plant processed plants, like I said, chocolate and a lot of pies and a lot of bread and pasta, yes, I said, let's go back again to diet, because that diet worked so well. Now I had this new idea, this raw veganism, because I've lost weight in those two months. I've lost a lot of weight. Oh my God! Yes, back then I will show pictures. I was underweight. I was below 19. My BMI was below 19. I had around 46 kilograms. So in 2 months, I've lost 16 kilograms in two months and something. So in my mind, that worked. And I said, let's go back to that diet, that raw vegan diet. So again, in a raw vegan, I couldn't do it for more. I lost some. And again, cravings came again. And this is the story for the first year. And the next year, because looking for diets and looking for veganism, how to stay vegan, I had this clear in my mind that I want to stay vegan. Why I cannot succeed? And I found a nice person online, and this is Banana Girl. She was promoting eating to reach satiety. She was not telling to reach satiety, she was telling eat as much as you care for from these carbs, high carb, low fat, and you will lose weight without going in deficit. And this was in at the end of 2012, I found her. I'm not very sure, 2012 or the beginning of 2013, but I didn't believe her. Doesn't matter when I found out about her approach, this high carb eating in abundance. You don't have to restrict calories when the calories are coming from the right foods for our species, not fats. And I was having a lot of fats, like I said, a lot of nuts and seeds, tahini and oil, but no, carbs, bananas, potatoes, rice. She was promoting also bread and pasta. I didn't believe her. Of course, how could you believe somebody like that? She was lean, she was slender, but I said, she's a lucky one. She's the exception. How could you eat as much as you care for and be lean like that? That's a nonsense. She's just lucky and crazy. Doesn't exist something, that reality is utopic. I wanted to believe in that reality for all my life. Like I said, I wanted to indulge in large portions. I mentioned in the previous video. From childhood, I loved to eat fruits and I loved potatoes. I love potatoes, but of course, in my family, potatoes were cooked with a lot of oil, fried in lard, and covered with cheese and eggs and meat and the bread and the oil. So I wanted to believe her, because this was my biggest dream, to eat as much as you care for, to feel that satisfaction with a meal. So never craving to other foods, never craving in the meals, never snacking, to feel the joy of eating without paying the bill, without putting on weight. I always wanted to believe in that. And all the people in my life, in my family, in society around me telling me that this is an utopia. This is utopic. Everybody, of course, wants to eat as much as they care for, but as we can see around us, this approach promotes obesity. She was telling the opposite. No, this approach, if you choose right the foods, promote a slender body, a thin body, promote health because you choose the different nutrition, so you bring more nutrients in your body and different macronutrients ratio, so more carbs, less fat, less protein, and is when you heal your body, heal your metabolism, and you lose weight. I couldn't understand this concept, but the seed was seeded. And I said, because I was vegan and I had this on hand, this raw veganism, I said, I will practice raw veganism with her approach. So more carbs, less fats, so less pouring oil and less nuts and seeds, less avocados. And yes, I will increase my fruit intake because she has a point in this. But I will stay, of course, in deficit. How can you lose weight without deficit? Come on, are you stupid or what? Of course, deficit is the way to go. I will lose with deficit, but right now, because I have this new knowledge about fats, yes, I will be high carb and low fat, but still cutting down portions and calories. And I believed will work for me. It didn't. Yes, I could stay on that track for longer because I wasn't in that high fat state. I was receiving more energy because carbohydrates give us the cleanest energy, more ATP, this adenosine triphosphate. So I felt better. My mental health improved. I felt more energized, less sadness, not that depressed. Like, I believe I had a bit of postpartum as well. But when you cut calories and you cut carbs, of course you will amplify your depression and your mood swings. It's like that. And I believe will work, but it didn't because craving came again. Cravings and binging came again. Yes, it took longer to start binging and start craving again cheese, carbonara, and lasagna. But I went there anyway, again and again. And fast forward 2 years, I found again Banana Girl, and this time it finally clicked to me. I said, I had 2 years, almost 2 years of trying again my approach with cutting down calories, but on this higher in carb and lower in fat plant-based vegan diet, and I couldn't even sustain veganism. And it was clear to me that I want to be vegan. And this story, another video about how Banana Girl saved me and how I actually gained a lot of weight because I was into restriction, like I told you. And after restriction, what does your body when you give enough and in abundance calories? Yes, your metabolism will slow down and you will put on weight, like I did in the past in all my diets. The difference is that in all the past diets, I was stopping and entering in yet another diet. This time, I believed her that I have to do things differently, and I didn't stop. And that's why I gained a lot of weight. But that is the story for the next video. Until then, let me know your story, how you became vegan. And if you were an ex-vegan, how many times? What did you crave? Did you connect the dots in between cutting down calories and those cravings? Because sometimes we cannot see the evidence in front of our eyes. And to me, it happened many times. I couldn't understand that I crave because of the diet. I said all the time that it's me. I'm too greedy. I always wanted to eat more. Why can't I eat in moderation? And this is the story of this tattoo. In a different video, I will tell you what's the connection between moderation, eating in moderation, and this embryo tattoo. give it a like, because it was not a like. I give you a lot of hope and a lot of insight in what to do and not to do if you want to lose weight forever. Subscribe for more videos like this. Binge and watch in all my content, because I created already a lot of valuable videos, and you can start losing weight from tomorrow if you are overweight and if you are not into practicing a form of calorie deficit, because if that's your case, you will rebound, you will gain weight like I did and like I will tell you in the next video. Okay, turn on the notification bell to be notified when I upload next videos. And yes, until the next time, please watch this video.